Shalom, shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, B'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great most and well. Shalom to the elect worldwide. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, some news, major news, The Guardian, it says Israel braces for new waves of Iranian missiles, as UN ambassador says 78 unalived, 320 wounded in Israel strikes live. This happened earlier today. Yeah, it says death toll comes amid Israel's attack across Iran that hit dozens of targets, including nuclear facilities. Yeah, don't want to play it because of copyright, but you can watch it yourself. So it looks like a back and forth, sort of retaliation. Yeah. So residential areas, so that's where civilians are, man. Men, women, and children that are not part of the army. But yeah, man, what is this signifying? That the scriptures are true. Yeah, tensions of war. Yeah, we're literally in the midst of war, man. This is no longer it's no longer a stage of rumors. We're literally in it, and it's just intensifying as the days go on, man. Okay, but let me get the scriptures. We're definitely in the last days, man. Anyways, this is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, but he have taken against Edom. And who's Edom? Yeah, the so-called white man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with these elites, man. Yeah, these small hats. Okay, the true powers of the world, the benefiters of their colonialism. Okay, these Edomites, man, and his purpose, but he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's that least of the flock referring to? These Amalekites, man. Yeah, the people in the state of what you call, Israel, man, today. Okay, these are the least that should draw them out. Draw them to what? Draw them to nuclear war. Yeah. Those people are bringing the UK, America, and various countries into war. Okay, because what it really is, these Edomites, they've got an inferior mindset, and they wanna conquer the world, man. They are not happy to see other nations grow without them, or succeed without their, without their needs. Yeah. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is a bloodthirsty by nature. Okay. Anyways, surely he shall make their inhabitants desolate with them. So all-out war is imminent. This is Matthew 24, and this is before the Lord's return, man. Yeah? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name is Yahweh Shai, who will be considered as a so-called black man. Pursuant to the scriptures, Revelations chapter 1, from verse 13 to 15. Yeah. So it says there, signs of Christ's return, signs of the Messiah's return. And jump to verse 3, and it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what should be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Yeah, so the apostles were in the right spirit, because they were hastening the day, and they were looking forward to the return of the Lord. Because when you read Acts 1 and 6, they were saying, is now the time that you're going to restore the kingdom to Israel? Which shows you that the kingdom is not for everybody. It's for a chosen people, a chosen nation. yeah, which is the Israelites, starting with the elect first. Yeah, and that's who the Lord is coming to deliver and save. The Israelites, the elect of Israel. That's all that's his mission. Okay. To save and to give repentance to Israel, Acts 5 and 30. Yeah, so we're going to see the signs. Verse 6, when you jump to verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. But guess what? As you can see, we're like, well, now we've been passing the stages of rumors. Okay. Now, the rumor is that there's going to be a World War III, which is already prophesied according to scriptures. But guess what? There is skirmishes and wars and strikes going on right before our eyes. Right now as we speak. Yeah? All it is doing is intensifying. So no one can say, oh, there's no war going on. I don't see a war happening. No, it's happening right now. It's just increasing. It's getting worse, as it's supposed to, according to the scriptures. Yeah? See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So guess what? What does that mean, that it must come to pass? It means that it's inevitable. It's unavoidable. Okay? But the end is not yet. Yeah. And what end is that referring to? The return of the Lord. So the Lord is coming very soon, but these signs and prophecies need to play out first. Such as the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, and so forth. Verse 7, but which is we're approaching that time. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So there's going to be a lot of turmoil in society. Yeah. Nations putting sanctions on each other. Nations threaten each other with economic war and nuclear war. You've been seeing it with America, China, with the tariffs. Yeah, so nations are going at each other's throats. Yeah. African nations, rising up and dispelling and discounting, colonial European colonial countries, from contracts and trying to get rid of them out of their lands and nation or systems or whatever. You've been hearing things like, was it Niger and what's that country? Faso. I forgot the name of it. It starts with a B, but something Beni Faso or something like that. Where you got that that military leader, the Ibrahim or whatever his name is. He's trying to make his country good without foreign, European, French colonial clause, and input. Yeah. So nations are rising against nations. Okay. This is all in this lifetime, man. There's so much has happened man. And there should be famines and pestilences. Famines, you can relate to the inflation, as a famine. Things getting too expensive. Okay. People living on the edge. People can't be getting evicted, can't be unable to pay their rent. The salaries are not enough. Okay. That can be included into famine. Okay. And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. These are the birth pains, in which the world is feeling, especially the West. UK and Babylon the Great America. This is Joel 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. So there's war is being prepared. All these nations are going to gear up for war. Okay. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Yeah? Let them come up. Yeah. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. What is that talking about? That means that all these nations are no longer going to invest into their social constructs, or they're going to start cutting back on benefits. cutting jobs, and all the money that's going to be used, all the monies that they're trying to cut back and save is going to be they're just going to thrust it all into military capabilities, more troops, more military weapons, more military, technology, nuclear capabilities. Yeah, they're no longer gonna be considered about in social and internal problems, issues. Yeah, because they know that the war is coming. And it says, "Let the weak say I'm strong." Meaning what? Small nations are gonna make alliances with big superpower countries like Russia. You got a lot of African nations that want to join Russia, making deals with Russia, China with Russia, Iran with Russia. Yeah, making alliances, and now those small countries are getting built as strong because you have a strong alliance. So now those same people that you're involved with, like Russia, they're giving you military training, they're giving you military weapons, so you can defend yourself against the West. So that's the weak saying I'm strong. Yeah, making alliances. Or you've now become developed, like China. Years back, China was nothing, but guess what? China used America to become strong and great, followed their blueprint, and they excelled. Everything you see is made from China. They used that money and invested heavily into their army and military. And now look, now you can call China another superpower. Look, America, Donald Trump putting tariffs on China. They're not backing down. But America is Donald Trump is one day the tariffs are over 100%, then he wants to cut it back down. He's all over the place. That shows you that you don't have, your power is diminished. You see, China's not backing down. What happened weeks ago or a month ago? Donald Trump said, "Oh, we made a deal with China," and China's spokesperson came out and said, "No, Donald Trump's lying. Donald Trump's lying. We never made no deals." You see, they're not standing for the BS no more. You can't bully them anymore because now they become a superpower. Yeah, the power of Babylon the Great America is dying, which is prophetic. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Yeah, the dollar is dying. Okay, the dollar is dying, man. The one, the American reserved currency is dying. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat means what? Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. Yeah. And where's that valley? Where's that valley located? In the Middle East region, man. That's the hot zone or the war zone of where where the war is primarily going to start. Well, where's the tension now? It's mainly around Iran, Israel, and so forth. That hot Middle Eastern region, man. Them areas of Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Middle Eastern, terrain. Yeah. And it says, "For there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about." Okay. So there's going to be great judgment because there's going to be war. Revelations 11:14, it says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." What is that talking about? World War II is gone. That woe represents destruction, a great calamity. And it was very great. All these, the World War I, World War II, millions upon millions of people's lives have been taken. I mean, God, men, women, children, elderly people, all sorts. Yeah, it's devastating. Yeah. People thought it was the end of the world. That's how great it was. But the end of the world is coming with the third nuclear destruction. Yeah, the third war, which is Ww3, the war to end all wars. And why so? Because this is going to be nuclear capabilities, extreme destructive military weapons that have never been seen before. Yeah, with the rise of technology. Yeah? In particular, the ICBMs and nuclear bombs. This is a scary time. Yeah? But the wicked are going to be caught up in that judgment, and the elect of Israel are going to be saved and delivered by our Lord Yahushua and the holy angels in spacecrafts, so-called UFOs, AUPs. Yeah, if we endure to the end. So the third woe is coming, and in the scriptures you will never see it talk about a fourth woe, fifth woe, sixth woe, because the third world war is the last war, and the Lord will make his return. Revelations 19 and 11. Revelations 12 and 7. This is Isaiah 9 and 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." Yeah. Just like all the wars you hear, the stories, and when you watch documentaries of the past of different type of wars, it was usually up close and personal, men with their swords and bow and arrows, blood and guts being spilled. However, look what it says here, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So the prophecy of the third woe, World War III, is going to be burning and fuel of fire, which makes sense. Why? Because of nuclear war, nuclear capabilities, nuclear destruction, ICBMs and bombs, and direct energy weapons, laser guided weapons, which is concentrated fire. Yeah? And that's how you know that the scriptures is referring to the times that we're living in right now. Okay? So expect things to intensify with Iran, and the state of Israel. Yeah. And the people of that state, the Amalekites, small hats, dragging people into war because they're bloodthirsty. But the other nations are not going to back down. Yeah. Okay. And also Revelation 17, the alliance of those that have an alliance with Babylon the Great America are going to turn on them, EU and NATO. Because America is being self-destructive as well. But anyways, with that, all praises be to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahshai, B'Shim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Most of the well, Shalom to the elect.